Let's talk about forgiveness. You can never be free of bitterness as long as you continue to think unforgiving thoughts. How can you be happy in this moment if you continue to choose to think angry and resentful thoughts? Thoughts of bitterness cannot create joy. No matter how justified you feel you are, no matter what they did, if you insist on holding on to the past, then you will never be free. Forgiveness of yourself and of others will release you from the prison of the past. When you feel that you are stuck in some situation, or when your affirmations are not working, it usually means there is some more forgiving to be done. When you do not flow freely with life in the present moment, it usually means you are holding on to a past moment. It can be regret, sadness, hurt, fear, or guilt, blame, anger, resentment, and sometimes a desire for revenge. Each one of these states comes from a space of unforgiveness, a refusal to let go and to come into the present moment. Only in the present moment can you create your future. If you are holding on to the past, you cannot be in the present. It is only in this now moment that your thoughts and words are powerful. So you really don't want to waste your current thoughts to continue to create your future from the garbage of the past. When you blame another, you give your own power away because you are placing the responsibility for your feelings on someone else. People in our lives may behave in ways that trigger uncomfortable responses in us. However, they did not get into our minds and create the buttons that have been pushed. Taking responsibility for our own feelings and reactions is mastering our ability to respond. In other words, we learn to consciously choose rather than simply react. Forgiveness is a tricky and confusing concept for many people. There is a difference between forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiving someone does not mean that you condone their behavior. And the act of forgiveness takes place in your own mind. It really has nothing to do with the other person. The reality of true forgiveness lies in setting ourselves free from holding on to the pain. It is simply an act of releasing yourself from the negative energy. Also, forgiveness does not mean allowing the painful behaviors or actions of another to continue in your life. Sometimes forgiveness means letting go. You forgive them and release them. Taking a stand and setting healthy boundaries is often the most loving thing you can do, not only for yourself, but for the other person as well. No matter what your reasons are for having bitter, unforgiving feelings, you can go beyond them. You can get off it, you can let it go. You only live in the now, and you can choose to think thoughts that make you feel good right now. You can choose to practice thinking thoughts that create a positive today and tomorrow. Know that you are creating thinking habits that will serve you well forever.
One day I heard somebody say, if you're willing to change your thinking, you can change your life. And I thought, really? Really? Is that possible? So I started to explore. And I came upon a book very early in my career by Frances Scovel Shinn called The Game of Life and How to Play It. It was written in 1926, which was the year I was born. And I identified with her very much because she was very strong and affirmative, and she was into affirmations. And that meant a lot to me, that book at the time.
I think we come to this planet many times to learn whatever lessons we need to learn. And for some of us, it's like coming to kindergarten. It's real simple, and we just skip through life and it's easy. And for many of us, it's like going to graduate school, and the lessons are much tougher. And yet we come in with everything we need to handle every situation that there will be. And we want to know that. We don't want to put limits on ourselves. Remember, problems are opportunities for growth that we give ourselves. And they're either payback from past negative thinking, Because remember, it's a very simple law of life. What you give out comes back. Or there are things where, experiences where we test ourselves. Now, a lot of us have been doing a lot of work on ourselves. I know that. And you know, we work on an issue and we say, oh, I'm going to clear this, and you do your meditation and your affirmation, etc., and you say, that's over with. I've cleared that. It's done. I'll never have to deal with that again, thank God. But how do you know you've really cleared it if you don't test yourself? So you've got to realize that whatever problem you work on and say, that's it, I'm really clearing it, I'll never do it again, you've got to test yourself to find out if you've really done it. Every time we do positive affirmations, we are connecting with other people who are doing positive affirmations. As we feel our oneness with all of life, we move to new levels of awareness. And we can't do this if we allow ourselves to be stuck in the judgments and the prejudices and the guilts and the fears. Remember, every time you are into prejudice, your thoughts and your words are going out and connecting with like-minded people that are doing the same thing. Every time you're judgmental, you connect with people who are doing that. Every time you're critical, you connect with other people that are doing that. And every time you get into guilt, you're also connecting with that. So who is it, what kind of like-minded people do we want to be connected with? See, we have to begin to understand that our minds are so powerful. And not only do we contribute to our own experiences, but we also contribute to everything on the planet. The planet is in terrible shape at the moment. We have nuclear threat, we have acid rain and holes in the ozone layer, the fish are dying, half the vegetation isn't fit to eat, and then we complain. What are we doing on a day-to-day mental level to help heal this planet? I mean, we've created things like Epstein-Barr and AIDS, and we push people away and say, oh, it's their problem. But what are we doing? Every thought we're thinking is contributing to this planet on some level. And what sort of like-minded people do we want to be part of? The totality of possibilities are awaiting us. Think about that, the totality of possibilities. They tell us we only use 10% of our brain. And my question always is, what is the other 90% for? What's it waiting for? It's sitting there waiting for us. See, I think that space travel is only beginning, and inner space travel is also only beginning. So what are you doing with your minds to break barriers? Are you willing to let go of your limitations and your fears? Are you willing to open up? What do you want to do with that 90% of your brain? The thing I'm really working for is to help create a planet where it is safe for us to love each other. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's true, where we can be loved and accepted exactly as we are, where we love and accept ourselves. But we're not going to find this from other people unless we're willing to give it to ourselves. And when we start doing that, when we can get to a point where most of the planet is practicing unconditional love, then we will get the other 90%. Because at the moment, if we had more powers, we would find more ways to torture and kill each other.